Turns out, despite everything Trump said, he can't end a war in 24 hours. I checked this morning, and it turns out that there is still a war in Ukraine. But here's Donald Trump promising that he was going to undo this. Remember, that's what everybody told us. When you guys debated with us, you told us he's going to end the wars. All you need is a strong man. He's just going to end the wars.
Could end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Yes, I could.
How would you do that?
I know Zelensky very well.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that long. I will get the war ended. I'll stop all of those lives from being wasted and lost. And there'll be no more bombing of Ukraine. There'll be no more bombing of Russia. And everybody will be happy.
It can be negotiated, I think, within 24 hours. It really has to be done from the office of the president. And you have to get them both in a room. And there are things you can say to each one of them, which I won't reveal now, which will guarantee that this war will end immediately.
On that to get us out.
It's almost like his magic words didn't work. I mean, what do you think the magic words were? What do you think those words were that he couldn't tell us? And why didn't they work? 24 hours later. Yeah, he didn't get him in a room. He didn't get him on a phone call. In fact, Putin basically said, yeah, fuck off. We'll do what we want. And Putin knows he doesn't have the backbone to go at Putin. He's not going to do shit against Putin. All Donald Trump is doing now is like appealing to Putin. Hey, come on, man. This is really bad for your country. Don't you know that if you ended the war, it wouldn't be bad anymore? like nobody tried that before. Nobody tried to be like, hey, Putin, people in your country are dying. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he kills his own people. Why does Putin give a fuck if people die? He doesn't. Turns out we didn't end that war, did we? So the problem that we have is that Donald Trump ran literally on lies and promises that there was no chance he was going to keep. And they were so specific that just asking people, like, at the time, like, how's he going to do that? Well, you'll see. Now we're seeing. What did he do on day one? He cut in his billionaire buddies. He cut in the billionaires, and then he gave a nod to the Christian nationalists who wrote Project 2025, and he went after marginalized communities. That's what he did on day one. He didn't. It wasn't the American people. It wasn't the generic. You know, when we talked about Project 2025, when we talked about these oligarchs, we were told it was the fringe. We were told that he was just appeasing them. Now that's all he's doing. Project 2025 is in. Project 2025 is happening. Didn't you listen to that speech yesterday? That was Project 2025. It was like a prophecy coming true, right? That I doubted. I'll be honest, like, I've always been afraid of Project 2025, but like, I remember the first presidency, and I remember the stuff that he promised and the crazy things he said, and then he didn't do them. And I thought, like, maybe there's a chance that he's just doing the same shit. And on day one of his first presidency, he backtracked on a whole bunch of shit. The only thing he backtracked on this time was the stuff for, like, the everyday people. He didn't do anything about groceries. He didn't do anything about inflation. He didn't do anything about housing. It was just like handouts to his buddies and pardoning a bunch of criminals. I sent a message to my mom this morning that I don't think I'm going to get an answer to, but she told me that the reason she voted for Trump this time around was because of Mike Pence, which didn't make any sense. And I just sent her a video of people chanting "Hang Mike Pence" and said, now what? Like, are we ready to believe yet that this person doesn't give a shit about Mike Pence or Christians or values? Just pardoned a bunch of Jan 6ers.